is an expression of the universal aspirations of man. Now, the rights of man became human rights, which refers to both man and woman. Okay? Now, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was not the end, because as we experience different exploitations around the world, the United Nations thought of passing also different treaties, resolutions as well, and different covenants to answer the different problems of the world. Where before, human rights struggle is only a country agenda, but it has emerged to become an international agenda. Now, the United Nations passed different treaties, as I said, to respond to economic oppression, to human exploitation, to discrimination, violence against women, the marginalization of the poor all over the world, and so on and so forth, social injustice as well. Look at this enumeration of treaties. Actually, there are about 60 treaties, resolutions, covenants, etc., which were passed upon by the family of nations in order to respond to the different problems confronted. Okay? So from 1948, the United Nations came out with an international covenant on civil and political rights, which was a response to clamor of the people for civil liberties and political rights and freedom. Then came after the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights, which is a response of the United Nations, the UN family, as against economic exploitations, social marginalization, and exclusion. Okay? It didn't rest there. No? The UN even passed the covenant, the convention on discrimination against women, which actually pushed for the equality of men and women in all aspects of life. Then came about the Convention Against Torture, the Convention on the Rights of the Child, the Convention on the Rights of the Migrant Workers, and the last in 2009, which is the Convention on the disabled persons. As you can see in the table, the last column represents the number of states, the number of countries that ratified all these covenants and conventions. So if you look at it, this could be a beautiful world already, because we have agreed to improve the world, to improve it to a more ideal world with less exploitation, with less marginalization, with less abuses on human rights. Okay? But what happened after this? What happened after this? Do we expect that the world has changed because of this? Did the world change? Yes or no? Okay. But what is human rights? As we said, human rights is supreme, inherent, right to life, right to dignity, and right to self-development. And when we speak of right to life, right to dignity, and right to development, it covers 3 categories of rights. These are the civil and political rights, the economic, social, and cultural rights, and the collective rights. Okay? Now, but when we speak of rights, we don't talk only of rights itself. We talk of rights, entitlements, and responsibilities. That's why I ask you the question first, no? Whether we are able to balance our rights with responsibilities. Because we may have entitlements, but we should exercise our entitlements with corresponding responsibilities individually and collectively. as we have individual entitlements and we have collective entitlements, no? Meaning, if we have rights, others have rights too. And if we don't exercise our rights responsibly, we trample upon the rights of others. Okay. So, you can just imagine, no? From 1948 up to 2009, the UN family has done a lot of things to correct the world, to change the economic order, to change the status of the marginalized people. But what happened later, which is now? There is global poverty. There is divide between the rich and the poor. There is divide between developed countries and developing countries. And human rights are often made as trade-off to development and security issues. Okay, to development. You hear probably some of the development projects like dams, which displace people without social safety nets. You may have heard some geothermal plants being put up, displacing communities and displacing indigenous peoples without regard to ancestral domain. So these are conflict of rights. And as I said, if there are rights, even if the states